problem.
So our guest speaker today, he is the head of the Auburn University Athletics, graphic design and videography, and they have been the national champions in that field 2 years running. Is that correct? 4 years in a row. It's been a while since we've talked, I guess, right? So 4 years in a row, they have been the national champions at what they do. And so if you've ever been to any Auburn University sporting event, I have seen multiple football hype videos on the Jumbotron. I've seen basketball, I've seen gymnastics, but you do them all. You do the ones that we haven't seen as well, right? And so without further ado, please give a warm Auburn High School welcome to our friend Matt Jaques.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be on here with you guys. Normally, I've been doing this in person, so hopefully, maybe next year, if all goes well, I can be in person. Um, Real quick, I am the director of motion graphic design for Auburn Athletics under the War Eagle Productions. And I oversee our graphic design program and our video board content. And so I have been doing this now for about 13 years professionally. And I originally am from Oklahoma, where I worked at University of Oklahoma in their athletic department for about 8 years, and then came here at the end of 2016. So I have, I like to say I've been here now for a full college career, 4 years. So I have gotten to experience, freshmen all the way through their senior year. So I have really enjoyed being a part of the Auburn team, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we do. First, I'm going to share with you the video. So for what Clay was saying is we have won the what is called the GMA, the Gold Matrix Award for best overall. And we have a really amazing, talented team that has contributed to this. Basically, it's a 5 minute of our best stuff that we submit. So some of it is just little snippets of our videos, and some of it's just how it was presented on the video boards. So let's make sure, hopefully this you can see it and watch it and hear it. Let me know, Clay, if this doesn't quite work, but we'll try. You guys hearing that okay?
We know, let's see, we don't hear anything as of yet. Yeah, we can hear it. Okay, yeah. Hey, Matt, we only hear it, but we don't see it. Is there a visual with it? Hey, Matt, we can hear it, but we don't see the screen. Is yours showing the screen?
Oh, it's not?
We could hear it, but we couldn't see the screen. Is there a share screen icon at the bottom?
Yep, that's what I'm sharing. Hold on, let me see if maybe I didn't share the right one. Let's try this one more time. Let's try this. We'll just share my whole screen.
Okay, I think this is going to do it. Perfect.
Welcome to the field. Nice field. You come up marching in. Like a brown fur cardigan. Please blame on a log and an argument. I'm like floats it for the end zone for way out. Oh yeah! Touchdown! Thing. It don't matter. We gon' win. Flex up. Flex up. Make one. Don't forget the job. Bless me from. Bless me, yeah. Bless me, yeah. Bless me from. Bless me, yeah.
This is what we do.
You know how to collide. Better believe it, I'm finna get down. I hear a lot of talking from the side, but they on the side. We paying them up. We been on the fire. We putting the time. I'm not regular. I will not give you regular.
Jeremiah Dissa, Miami, Florida.
Judd Ward, Russellville, Alabama.
The completion picks up 16 yards. First down from the 31. Makes his pass complete to number 18, Seth Williams, for the Auburn touchdown. The touchdown pass, 31 yards.
Let's see who wants the sideline pass. All right, we're here with Charlie. Charlie's going to eat this wasabi sauce packet for a sideline pass. Here you go, Charlie. You got it. Oh, wow. He's crushing this right now. Oh.
It's time for the Golden Flake Crunch of the game, where you'll have a chance to vote for one of these crunches. Is it crunch number 1? In trouble.
Some type of tape player.
Auburn Ticket Office. This is Jeff speaking. How may I help you? It's nothing personal, but it certainly feels personal.
$1989. We started something special.
Character reveals it. Teams that keep their locker room. Finishing up originally big turn.
Give me the chance and I'ma damage you. I don't think you got the stamina. Give me the chance and I'ma damage you. I don't think you got the stamina.
All right, so just a little bit of what we did, and this was actually from the 1920 season. So, but as you can see, just a lot of just different video and graphic elements. Everything you saw there was shot and edited and designed by our team. Most of the stuff that we used is Adobe Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop to build all that, with a little bit of some Cinema 4D for some of the 3D animation. But um, that is mainly what you have seen over, when we pre-COVID, right? Um, so this year, what we have done is with COVID, we, as you can see, you'll see here in a sec, we tried to redesign and kind of reevaluate how we approach everything. And so if you noticed, a lot of stuff kind of, was all the graphics and stuff was all kinds of different styles. Well, this year we kind of switched it up and wanted to work both with our graphic design team for social, as well as our video team, and then all of our video boards. And what we did was we combined all of our design styles into one and created this massive graphics package. And so that's kind of what I want to focus a little bit more on, what I want to talk about. Essentially what we try to do is, when we have to work for 18 different sports, right? Not just football, or in basketball, we have to do the golfs and the tennises and the tracks. So to kind of help provide content for all of our sports at a higher quality. What we did was we designed everything around football. And then after we designed for football, we took a lot of those elements and designs and tried to distribute them throughout all the sports. What we kind of came up with. Let's see here. All right, so this is just a brief collage of video board elements, graphic design, social. We didn't do a lot of print, so most of it went to kind of digital print applications, as far as like our traditional kind of game day guides and our media guides and stuff like that. And like I said, what we initially did was we designed everything around football, and our design team came up with kind of 3 elements. And so when we design a lot of things, we try to work in kind of threes, or try to pair up different elements. And so this year we wanted to also kind of have purpose behind some of our elements. So if you see kind of this tree rings, some people thought these were like topography map type deals, but these are actually tree rings, kind of basically representing our oaks, and our winning tradition. And then our this sticker and tape kind of concept. And we use this in both practical and windows. So as you can see down here, there's pictures that are inside of tape, but then there's also just tape and stickers kind of look. And then our third is we added a new font to our design, and that is the Tungsten Font, which is this nice kind of tall, bold font that we use as our main headline font. And then we paired it with our older font that we've been using, which is TT Norms, and that is more of your traditional basic text font that we use for a lot of different things. So and so as we kind of designed for football, we started to branch out, and started to have fun with the look, and came up with even more creative ways to use our elements. And here's some more of our ads. and our promotions. So bringing everything into a consistent look. Something else that we tried to focus on was focusing on photography and capturing our student athletes in unique kind of creative ways, and also using a orange background for a lot of our teams. Just gave it an extra kind of made these pictures stand out a little bit more when we used orange. So again, going back to kind of our standards, we use mostly white as our background, as our primary, blue as our secondary, and orange as more of our tertiary colors kind of hierarchy. And then we created a game day package for all the sports. And so all the sports had kind of these similar elements, whether it was a tease for the upcoming game or match, a starting lineups look, some picture windows for templates. So a lot of times our graphic designers didn't have to create all this. They would create the template, and our SIDs or our social media people could just drop in a picture behind the or in the template. So and then next, this is my favorite. So our graphic design team had fun with a lot of our accolades and awards. So they're able to kind of get creative, add some different elements to the design, but still keep it within our main graphics package. And then another important part of design is to, in order for us to make money, we have to incorporate, sponsors and partners. And so these are just examples of how we were able to incorporate some of our partners into some of our designs. And then what I was excited about is not only did you see it in our just graphic design on our social, but we also added it to all of our video boards. So and so we built out using all these same elements and designed it for all of our video boards. And I don't know if you have noticed, but our new arena board, which we just got this year, which a lot of people haven't got to see yet because of COVID, but we got to really have fun with our new arena board. But what this allowed us to do is to be more efficient. We were able to reuse anything from our social pages to or our digital signage and add them to our video board, so we weren't doubling up on most of our work. And then we took some of that design elements and stuff and added it into more of a 3D motion atmosphere. So this is the video board graphics package. And here's some more looks from our starting lineup. So starting lineups is a huge feature for us. Our student athletes love it. It's a big sponsored element. And so we were able to kind of keep a consistent look, but still create kind of unique looks within the different starting lineups. And then we also created GIFs, so player celebrations, reacts that we use both on the video board and on social media. And so those are just a handful of examples. I mean, our team just, even though we were in COVID, we still obviously got to be able to compete. So we had to focus a lot on our design when our fans were more focused on digital and how they could view it and get access to it. So we were able to provide not only just football content, but a lot of extra content for all of our other sports, because we were able to share assets and really be in a kind of a box. So the idea is if you give everyone unlimited amount of room to design, it might take them a while because they have too many options. It's like going on Netflix, right? And just you spend 30 minutes. By the time you figure out something to watch, you could have already watched something, right? So this allows our designers to be a little more efficient, and actually I think it encourages more creativity, because once they have kind of a parameters, then they can focus on being creative with their design. So, all right, so I will open it up for some questions.
Can I ask a couple
If
before
that's
they
all right.
start? Can I ask you just one or two
I
before
do a lot better with just answering questions.
Okay. Hey, well, one question. How many roughly are on your team?
So right now we're a little short. Normally we have about 4 designers, and on just the graphic side, and then on the video side we have what you saw on that video, and then within here our video team is about 6 full-timers. But our graphic design team right now is only 2 full-timers and 1 student. So we're trying, because of COVID, we had to limit our number of people, and we actually had a designer leave right before COVID, so we weren't able to hire them. But our full War Eagle production staff, that's including our live production, we're about 20 full timers when we're at full strength. But right now we're not at 20.
So some of the kids who are current seniors about to graduate and incoming freshmen, should they want to apply for to work for you, what would be the best means for them to do that? Just email or what?
Yeah, they can email. They can. Email is probably the best. Just email me, and you have my email. You can share with them. Right now, if you're Auburn, if you're already into the school, then you can go ahead and email me, and we can try to we can see what we have, starting in September, October. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to onboard freshmen. But we are always looking for talented and eager students wanting to learn and help. So,
You mind opening it up to these buzzards here, see if they have any questions?
yeah, absolutely.
So one guy who I've actually mentioned before by name, he's in here right now, and he's asking what should he even include in the email? Would you want to go ahead and see samples of work, or just an introductory type thing, or?
Yeah, shoot me if you want. If you have a portfolio, send it to me. But obviously include your name, and your if you have your Auburn email, which I don't think you probably will yet, but if you have your Auburn email, that will help a lot as well. And then we can point you into the application process. So, but you have to have an Auburn email before you can actually apply. So that's why freshmen sometimes are a little bit harder to onboard. But we like freshmen, because then we can train them up, and we have them for 4 years. So it's a good opportunity. We don't actually like to hire like seniors, because by the time they kind of learn our system, they're gone. And so we actually like to hire freshmen or sophomores. So if you're interested, and maybe you're not quite ready, come see me as a sophomore, right? Reach out as a sophomore, and even as a sophomore or a junior. We just don't really like to hire seniors.
That makes sense. Any more questions? Good question. Another student asked if you guys do internships.
We don't do actual like internships other than through the university, because there's a lot of there's a lot of complications to that. We used to, and then we were told we couldn't. But we can still do them through the university as long as you're not a student athlete. So you can do a semester internship with us through the university's classes. So you can, because you have, and so if you're a certain department or college, you have to have an internship, right? And you can then do a internship as a class. But that's the only way we can do internships as right now. So we did have a couple of high schoolers a couple of years ago do one, but after that we weren't able to do them anymore. So.
More questions?
Where exactly are you guys working at?
Good question. He's asking about your physical location. Are you guys on campus? Or are you working from home because of COVID, or?
So we are all back on campus now. So our office is if you know where Tiger Walk starts, we are just on the corner of where Tiger Walk starts, right on Sanford and Donahue.
Anybody else? We've got everything else figured out. That's all we needed to know. We know everything else. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes? That's a good question. So, one in the back is asking, and I've mentioned this one actually by name also, do any of your graphic designers also hybrid do videography, or is it this or that?
So I prefer, I feel like you need to be well-rounded. So I actually have a video broadcasting degree, but my main focus is graphics, motion graphics particularly. Our graphic designers dabble in photography, and I know my one student graphic designer also knows some motion graphics. So I think the more that you know is great, especially in this changing world, that the media kind of the amount of media needed for about everybody. It's better to be have a lot more tools, and you'll be a lot more desirable when you look for jobs. I think you should maybe not that phrase of, being good at everything, a master of none type deal. I think you should focus on something that, you can be really good at, but also, don't just focus on that. So, because I still shoot and edit. I even help with some of our live side every now and then still. So, I think it's also helps your creativity. It also helps communicate with your main people that might be the photographer, right? If you're a graphic designer and if you know a little bit about photography, you can kind of tell the photographer, your main photographer, hey, I'm looking for kind of this kind of look and with this kind of lighting. Instead of just being like, I just need a picture of this, and sometimes you might get it, you might not if you're not as detailed. So
speaking of photographs, do you guys do you have like a stock art folder to draw from, or every project do you go out and snap new photos type thing, or?
So yeah, we're getting better at this, but what we do is we have what we call our asset shoot day with most of the sports, and they will do a bunch of pictures with our photographer, and then they will do video content as well on our green screen. And we usually shoot that all in one day with each team. And then pretty much after that, we use all that stuff that we take throughout the year. Now, obviously, you see some of our design, we use action shots, and those are just taken, obviously from our photographers. We'll have a stock account. Like, I don't know if you noticed, like there's like bees in one, and there's some other stuff that we have that we pull from a stock site. But for the most part, so those tree rings, right? Our graphic design team actually made those. Now the tape we purchased through a stock footage place, but most of that we try to take our own pictures of other things. So that's why, as like graphic designers, like if they can just take their own pictures, they can get some of their own stock images, right?
Sure, right.
I got a question.
Got another question.
So, how much do they get paid, and like how long do they work? Like a week?
That's a pretty good question. Roughly, how long does each of your workers work per week, and what type of compensation can be expected and things like that?
So it depends on the week in college athletics. So like this week is pretty busy for us as we're getting ready for A-Day, but we also have a bunch of other events going on all this weekend and into the beginning of next week. So our graphic designers are working quite a bit, but we try to usually work just 8 to 5 or whatever. But there are times where, especially when we get into recruiting, where we'll have sometimes coaches will need a last second graphic at night, and occasionally we'll be able to do that. We try to avoid those situations, but myself, I work events as well. So on top of my normal 8 to 5, I'll work events. So there's some deadlines that you're just cranking away. So try to avoid those, and trying to be as efficient as possible, but sometimes they're not. But we try to work I would say more than 40 hours. We're more in the 50 to range. And then if you're working events and having a pretty busy week in college athletics, you can work a lot. 60, depending on how many events you have and you have to work. But compensation, I'm not going to just drop how much, but it's starting off, it's you don't really make a lot. I'll just put it that way. You make about 35 to 40 probably starting out, but you can obviously you work your way up, and you're not gonna you're not gonna be making doctor money or engineering money, but we don't do that for the money. A lot of times we work and we do it because we enjoy creating. And in sports specifically, we enjoy being part of a team, and we just enjoy doing sports. But I as I have gotten older, I have prioritized other things as well, because I have a family. So a lot of times I try to prioritize my and balance my work family life a little bit more. But a lot of times my younger designers, they're just eager and they'll just crank away on stuff. But I try to keep them down. I try to keep them, where they need to pace themselves, because the term burnout for designers is very real, because a lot of times you put a lot of your heart and soul into a creative design, and then after you do it, you don't necessarily have that kind of rewarding feeling a lot of times. And so I would encourage you to think bigger picture, and enjoy the design process and the creative process, but then look forward to something more, and not rely on the instant gratification of people liking something on social media or getting a congratulations, because a lot of times we work in a thankless job. People don't understand the amount of effort and detail and skill that we have to make stuff. And so I would encourage you guys to find a better reason to design.
How does it work out time-wise with a college student? Are they able to do classes and to maintain like a 40-hour week as well, or?
Well, students won't work 40 hours. They're actually limited to 30, and we actually try to keep them actually more to the 15-hour range, because we can't afford to pay
Sure,
30,
right.
40 hours a week for a bunch of students. So so that's, so yeah, you can work as little or as much as you want as a student. It's more based off of, if you want to work 5 hours a week, that's fine. So, but yeah, it's as much as or little as you want to work as a student, because we understand we all were college students at one point, so we understand sometimes you're busier, you have busier times than others. So
We sure don't want to overstep any bounds, and feel free to just say mind your own beeswax. But some of the ones that are actually interested in coming in and working as a student, are they allowed to know ballpark what type of compensation that would be?
as a student,
Yes.
as a student, yes. I believe, well, it's changing, I think. So I think when you start, I think you're at $8.50 an hour. But don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I think it's $8.50. I don't handle the books,
Sure.
but I think it's about that. I'm trying to remember how much our current student, he's gotten bumped up because he started as a freshman,
Mhm.
and I think I'm pretty sure he's at $10 an hour now. That's about as high as I think we can cap. But yeah, I don't know what's minimum wage now.
I honestly, I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'm assuming it's a fun job. I mean, it's a rewarding job. There's a lot of jobs that do pay better.
There's a lot of it, involved with learning, right? Having experience. So you'll have true on-the-job experience, right? So that you can take to find a job out of school. So I mean that's almost priceless.
Right.
Not to say I want you to work for free. Believe me, I don't want. That's not what I mean. But there is some. You got to kind of balance that money to how much experience you're going to get before you even graduate.
I assume it does not look bad on a resume to say that they worked for the Auburn University graphic design department, and who's a part of the 4-time national champions and things like that. That can't be bad on a resume moving forward into a full-time career job, right?
Nope, not at all. And this, again, I'm in just a very niche part of design, right? So if you're very interested in sports, our we're really growing as an industry from a kind of a sports creative and design side of things.
To settle an argument, could you please repronounce the word Niche?
Niche?
One more time, please.
No, don't make
It's niche, not niche.
Thank you, sir. You're a great American. And any more questions?
Why do you say it like that?
So, last question. Why do you say it like that?
Because that's how I learned it.
All right. Hey, thank you, sir. We really appreciate it very much. We appreciate your time.
Yep, happy to do it.
All right. Have a good one. Oh, they're clapping. Here we go.
I can't really hear or see them clapping, but I'll believe you.
Just take our word for it. We'll put it in the post-production. You'll hear it then. How about that? All right.
Sounds
Have a good one, man. Thanks again.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
War Eagle.